Hello everyone, this is MJ and you are at my channel called Reading This Life. My channel is where we talk fiction, friends, and fun. Today, it feels like forever ago, it's my February wrap-up. And remember, before we get started, let me know, what is your current read right now? Let me know. I would be curious to find out. So, I filmed this the other day, and I decided to refilm it because I forgot about some books. Specifically, I forgot about some books that I DNF'd. Well, one, I'll explain when we get there. Okay, so, February stats. 7 completed, 1 DNF to be finished in August. 2, I just didn't feel like reading them anymore and I put them down. So that's where we're at. So I have my books ranked. Let's talk about stats before we get started. So for the Read What You Own challenge, I am at 24 out of 51. For Books of the Year, I have 28 out of 76, and this is as of February 28th. Those numbers have changed since then. Least favorite to most favorite. So number 7 is A Visit from the Goon Squad by Jennifer Egan. This book was interesting. I believe it was a Pulitzer Prize. It is fiction. It focuses heavy on the characters. It focuses on 2 main characters. We have Sasha and Benny, and we get their opening stories, and then the characters that follow, the chapters and the scenes that follow, keep extending outward in a certain circle of connections. And one of the interesting things about that book is that you're trying to make the connections as to how the stories are related. I enjoyed it. It got a little much for me at one point, simply because I'm trying to figure out what is the point to the book. I have all of these sub-stories going on. I have all of these different layers, but what is like the main focus of the book? I had issues with that, and that's just me and how my thinking is. So I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. Now, that actually is a book that I may entertain picking up again in the future, because they do touch on a scientific theory that I'm pretty fond of, and that's like a string theory, quantum physics theory, and there are charts and graphs in the book too. It's just different. It's a different type of book. 3 out of 5 stars. Won a Pulitzer Prize. I could see why, because it's so different. But yeah, I made a lot of notes for it, and that was the first book that I read with the scribe. I mean, it just wasn't really my cup of tea, but it was a recommendation that I heard on Booktube, and I said, okay, I'll read it. All right, so that was the number 7. Number 6 was The Ballad of Black Tom. This is written by Victor Lavalle. This was a short audiobook that I listened to. I think it may be a little over 3 hours. It is a response to a story by H.P. Lovecraft. I have not read it. Now, someone told me that I probably should have read that first before I read The Ballad of Black Tom, but I did Black Tom first, and then I'm going to go back and read Lovecraft at some point and maybe compare the two. It was good, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, but I'm going to revisit it in the future. Maybe if there's horror mayhem going on, because I would like to compare the two. I know people have done that in the past, so that's something that I'd be interested in doing. All right, then we go to number 5 is Women Talking by Miriam. It's spelled Toes, but I think it's Traves or something like that. Women Talking is fiction based on a real life story. Shocking. It's a community village, and in the community, women are being attacked. Girls and women and babies are being attacked in the middle of the night. The men are saying that it's demons. The women kind of believe them. And then the truth comes out that they have been drugged and assaulted sexually and raped while they are unconscious. And This happened in 2009, I believe, 2009. And it went through 2009, I think through 2015, something like that. Like horrific stuff. A premise that you would have thought probably would be better taking place in the 1800s or something like that. But no, it's modern day. But it is a Mennonite community where there is not a lot of modern technology, not a lot of modern... Oh, what? You scared me. Oh, you scared me. Not a lot of societal norms, modern societal norms. These women are uneducated. They cannot read. They are illiterate. And they have come together to have a symposium, and they are voting. And they are voting as to whether they should stay, whether they should do nothing, whether they should stay, whether they should do nothing, or whether they should leave. No. Whether they should stay, whether they should fight, or whether they should leave. So they're coming together to place this vote and to see what happens to the future of their village. It was a good book. The problem that I had with it is the narrator was male. He was one of the males in the community. And right off the bat, I didn't trust him. I did not want him to be involved in this symposium. He alluded at one point that he was incarcerated, and I wanted to know why. So I had trust issues with the narrator, and that made the book a little difficult for me. The women in the book relied heavily on their faith, which was interesting to see how that was going to play out. Conversations started with, if God loves us, why would this happen to us? And quite meaningful and poignant at times. So from cover to cover, it was enjoyable. Just the male narrator didn't sit well with me. Now, they did turn this into a movie. I believe it's up for a couple Oscars, perhaps. I think Frances McDormand is in it. And someone did mention in my comments that they replaced the male narrator with a female narrator, which was a smart move on Hollywood. That one I gave 3 out of 5 stars. Okay, that was book number 5. Now we've got book number 4, and that is Douglas Adams' So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. Douglas Adams, this book to me ranked right up there with book number 1. I would rank them book number 1, book number 3. No, 1, 2, 4, 3. I think that's how I would prefer them. Completely enjoyable. Not a lot of Zaphod in this book. We still have our favorite characters. There is an addition of a love story. We're still searching for answers. And it was just good. The British humor in this book was over the top for me. I absolutely loved it. There was a piece on there that literally made me cackle out loud. And it was all about dry sandwiches in England. Oh my God. Like, I was just dying over it. Really, really enjoyable. And that was over at Criminali's channel. That was his birth year book tag book club. That was one of the picks for February. And we were reading the whole Douglas Adams series of Hitchhiker books, and that was the last one that we were reading. So that one I gave it 4 out of 5 stars because that was like a journey down memory lane. I really like that. Okay. Then, all right, so that was book number 4. Book number 3 was Love, Pamela by Pamela Anderson. That was an audiobook that I listened to, and it is her story written by her. The way that she presented herself, I give her full credit. Talking about her life is not an easy thing. She starts off when she was very small. And up until modern day, she talks about the struggles that she had, the traumas that she has had. She has had more traumas than y'all know. Her family, her love life, her sons, the importance of family to her, the importance of living at a beach. I mean, she just has the best houses. Her experiences with Hugh Hefner and the Playboy Mansion. Lots of different nuances to her that you really may not have been aware of, especially her involvement with People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, her love of animals. It really did shine through this book. She is a fan of literature, and she goes off on some of her favorite books and poets, which is wonderful. But it really did almost read like a journal entry. I will say, do not listen to this audiobook on increased speed because her voice is really high to start with. And, dogs may be like tilting their head. But yeah, I gave that. I don't have what I gave that. Shoot, I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I think I did. Okay, then. Ooh, this was fun. My 2 top ones. Okay. So first was Psychic Teenage Bloodbath. That was an extreme horror book, and that's by Carl John Lee. I gave this sucker 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. This book gave me everything. Ticked all the boxes for me. I will say, there is trigger warnings listed in the book. In the introduction, they tell you to go to the back and check them out in case there's something that you don't want to read about, which was nice. Also, the introduction gave a very, very complimentary piece about the author. This I really had known nothing about. And now I want to read more of his work because I really enjoyed this book. So this book has 2 main characters. They are girls in high school, and they are involved in a relationship. And other people in their high school a vibe as to what's going on. They see them at a school dance, and one of them is pushed off of a couple stories high, pushed off of a balcony, and there's some revenge going on through the rest of the book. Yeah, there's a lot of revenge, and it's good. It's good revenge. This book had extreme violence. It had sex. It had some torture. We also had some really ridiculous scenes that just made you laugh out loud. It was just good. I read this in like 2 days. It's like 250 some pages long, but it was the read that I needed. It was refreshing. It was revolting, disgusting, but good. It gave me Carrie vibes. That 70s vintage feel, with the school dance and the winged hair, and just wonderful. It took me right back. If you're looking for something different and you're looking for something in the horror genre, extreme horror, Psychic Teenage Bloodbath may be for you. It was really good though. And then last, and my number 1 read was Spare by Prince Harry. I love this book. Now this is a unique month for me because I have got 2 autobiographies in here. I have been a watcher of the royals since I was little. I remember when Harry was born. I remember when his mother got married. I remember when they got engaged. My family has always embraced English culture and the royals, and it stayed with me. So, of course, when Diana's sons got married, I was there watching, and everything that's going on now, I'm kind of familiar with, and I'm kind of not. But I knew the book was coming out. I remember when they made the announcement and how much he was receiving for the book. And the book did not disappoint. If you want to peek behind the royal curtain, if you want an inside glimpse as to what it's like to live like a royal, if you want to know intimate details as to how Harry dealt with his mother's passing and his thoughts regarding the matter, his thoughts on the paparazzi, his thoughts on, his grandmother, then you might want to check it out. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because he told his truth. Whether you like him or not, whether you don't like what happened, he told his truth. And a huge chunk of this book is all about his experience in the military, which I thought was fantastic. So that was my number 1 read of the month. Now, I have some books I didn't finish. So in February it was my birthday, and I got sick, and I had a buddy read with Criminale. We were reading Aliens by V. Castro, and we started it right when I got sick, and I struggled and I couldn't pick it up. So I told him, I said, go ahead, finish it. I'm just gonna pick up you know, put it down and pick it up at a later time. And that's what I'm doing. So hopefully this month I'll get to this and finish it. But I am enjoying it where I'm at right now. Then I got into a buddy read with Frankenstein, and I just couldn't carry on with it. It just didn't interest me. I was doing the audiobook and the print book at the same time. Just didn't fit my mood. So I put it down. What else did I put down? I think there was another buddy read over at Criminali's Birth Year Book Tag Book Club. I didn't even get into it. Then for the Garb August 1.5 weekend, I got a Jackie Collins book. And I DNF'd it because it wasn't giving me anything. I read 200 pages, which is, this is where I'm at. I read that much. And it wasn't giving me life. It wasn't giving me life. I was bored. And I'm like, put it down. Maybe I'll pick it back up in August and try it again. This book is called Married Lovers. If you've never heard of it, that's probably why, because it's boring as cardboard. There's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of spice. The characters are kind of overdone, and there really is not a heck of a plot right now. Wasn't my cup of tea. In August, I will pick it up. I will continue where I left off. The characters will come right back to me, and we'll see if it is going to be a true DNF or am I going to be able to finish it out. Okay, and I think that's my month. So not a bad month, considering work was crazy. I was sick, and you just really don't feel like reading much when you're sick. It's just how it is. So I don't think I forgot any other books. I think that's it. Let me just double check while I have you here. Let me check the scribe and see what's up. Okay, so I also have in here Evidence of the Affair by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was really good. This was a 4-star read for me. It's short, and this was an audiobook that was available on Audible, and it is a love affair told in letters. It's told through letters. So the wife of a man who was cheating on her sent a letter to the husband of a wife that was cheating on him, and they have this this dialogue that goes back and forth. It was really good. I recommend it if you like Taylor Jenkins Reid. Taylor Jenkins Reid, Daisy Jones and the Six, also Malibu Rising. I think The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, maybe hers too. But I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Okay, now that's everything that I read. All right, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I hope your March is going well. I hope you are taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. And I will see you in my next video, whether it be sooner or later. So until next time, everyone, goodbye for now.